I feel like it's going to tickle my chinny chin chin.
It's like a rabbit testicle.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Yeah.
It's a bit close, isn't it? I'm a bit loud.
You can hold it.
Maybe I should talk a bit
You can hold it. Pretend you're a giant.
Okay, let's start the podcast in 3, 2, 1. So, welcome to our podcast. What are we calling our podcast? Well, I suggested The Confessions of an Artist. What was yours?
2 girls, 1 podcast.
I think that'd be. I quite like 2 girls, 1 podcast though.
I know, but I think we're gonna.
But then that'll mean you
win.
Be
attracting a weird crowd.
Yeah. So welcome to the podcast. We haven't figured out a name yet.
Haven't figured out
anything. Basically, we decided to do a podcast so that one, we can introduce ourselves, and the shed, and that's basically what we've got so far.
Context-wise. It's not a shed. It's a tattoo studio.
Yeah, no, so when I say the shed, I mean the ink shed, which is a private tattoo studio, which Ella will go into. Yeah. So why don't we start with introducing ourselves? You go first.
God damn it. Okay.
Why is it roll in?
I'm Ella Brooks, aka Brooksy Ink. Been tattooing since 2010.
Right, roll in. But roll in seriously, we're going to roll it.
Hey, I'm Ella. I started tattooing in 2021.
I don't know why she's looking at me. I have no freaking idea.
2021. I was 27 years old at the time. I was working a really, really boring job in finance. I mean, it was great money.
Not slating anyone that works in finance.
No, not at all. I mean, if you enjoy that shit, then go for it. I unfortunately had to work from home during lockdown, which was massively inconvenient for my mental health because didn't get to speak to anyone really, apart from my partner, and I and I just you get stuck in this process when you become an adult where you end up getting in a job and it pays well, and then
getting deep.
You go, is it too deep?
No, it's not too deep. It's not too deep.
It's the really serious part of the show. And I just knew I didn't want to be just working job to job. I wanted to do something that I loved, and art is something that I loved. Tattooing is something that I loved. So at 27, bit the bullet, just went, right, let's do this. And it was probably one of the hardest times.
Yeah, you were terrified about, so I mean, as anyone would be, starting a new career and stuff, but especially, during the lockdown, which actually seems weirdly not that long ago and also a lifetime ago. But you were. I remember you calling me and you were really worried about changing career. And I was like, you're a brilliant artist. Like, what are you holding back on? Just go for it.
And I mean, change is scary in any circumstance, but I think now looking back, I can say it was one of the best things I've ever done. Yeah. Which is to anyone that is thinking, I guess it's the fear of going for it is the hardest part, but actually now I'm on the other side. It was really difficult. You have to work really hard to get there, but it pays. I would never look back.
No, oh my God, I couldn't imagine you not being a tattoo artist now.
We'll do a little tattoo tour at one point.
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah.
You are starting an apprenticeship. Unfortunately, you probably will have to work 2 jobs, and you will have to think about where your money's coming from.
Where you worked as an apprentice was miles away.
Yeah.
You had to drive an hour and a bit each morning.
It's commitment. You have to be committed. I think that's it, really. You have to know that this is what you want to do, and you have to be full-blown committed to it.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Last year, November, or previously to November, we decided to build a studio in our garden.
The ink shed?
Yeah, which used to be a lovely shed, which is now the ink shed.
And we'll do a studio tour because it is.
Before you think there's lovely. Like a lawnmower and a trimmer just over there, and there's a bag of soil right there. We now have nowhere to keep these things, by the way.
It's a lovely studio.
And people have said how they love it. I'm not just saying that.
No, it is lovely.
But
I love it. Hence why I started working here.
People like the privateness of it. People like the fact I can work different hours to a traditional studio. People like they can just chat at me, and there's no one around to hear all your deepest, darkest secrets, which you hear a lot as a tattoo artist. I'm just checking it's still on. Could you imagine we just keep talking and it just says, that's in a nutshell. Obviously, like as we do this, as I go on, I'll obviously reveal a bit more about myself and why I did these things, or like what my style is. But for now, I guess main information is I'm now self-employed, girl boss, fucking killing it.
In your own studio.
In my own studio.
Yeah, you're killing it.
I'm Demi.
Hi. So, yes, I'm Demi. Oh my God, this is actually harder than... Yeah. Right, so I'm Demi. I am new to the studio. I'm not a tattoo artist. I do teeth gems. Which I will go into. But basically, this is quite a new industry for me. I was always in sales. I was a property manager for, 8 years. A long time.
Really old.
All right.
No, we're old. I said we're old. I didn't say specifically you're old.
She's older. So I was a property manager, or working within the property industry for about 8 years. That was my profession. And I really loved it. And then I was headhunted to work doing marketing, which allowed me to travel a lot, went to Dubai a lot to do work. It was an amazing experience. And it was the start of me working from home, wasn't it, really? So doing my own hours, etc., traveling. And then because of that, my husband and I decided to move to Thailand using the opportunity of earning from home. And we booked everything, moved there. We had no plans, really. No. We just decided to move there.
They left.
Yes, we did leave it. This is a full joke. So yeah, we left there with no real plans. We didn't know how long we were going for. Packed all our stuff, sold our car, got our dog organised to come with us. And then
sounded like a lot of admin.
It was a lot of work.
It's just a lot.
If anyone ever wants to move abroad, take it from me. It's hard.
I'm gonna say obviously we will accept questions from anyone regarding tattooing. But if you want to ask about moving to a different country, or setting up your own business or anything, just give us a shout. It's fine.
So we booked everything, and then a month before we left, I found out I was pregnant. So we had our son in Thailand, and then we flew back when he was just over a month.
It was a month, wasn't it?
Yeah. And Ella and her partner Jake actually came out for the birth. Oh, don't make me upset.
Ridiculous. She gave birth a day before we left, and it was like a real tight squeeze in there. And we had to go to the airport. No, not the airport.
How long did you come for? 3 weeks?
About 4 weeks.
About 4 weeks. They came for 4 weeks, and like Ella said, I gave birth the day before they left.
Stress.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that. I'm so glad that you were there for that.
I paid a good amount of money to come here. I want to see a baby.
Could you imagine? You were on the plane, like, by the way.
Well,
I just had the baby.
Half expecting that to happen.
Yeah. But yeah, so Jake and Ella were there for the birth. It was wonderful. We decided to come back for various reasons. But we had the conversation out there, and you basically said, look, what do you want to do when you go back? To being a new mum, it's going to be difficult to get back into a 9-to-5 job, blah, 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 blah. And we then decided that actually it might be cool working together. So I may go into tattooing. Ella's gonna, if she can put up with me, she is going to potentially teach me next year. But for now, I wanted to get in the studio as soon as possible, and I really wanted to get into teeth gems. So I'm a tooth gem technician. I'm trained, certified. The studio is licensed, of course. And that's basically it.
I think with me and Demi, spent all our young adulthood, but we basically still go to festivals. that still hasn't changed. Not since the baby. No, the baby put a spanner in the works there. But we could bring you guys. But we
paid a lot, shall we say?
We're accustomed to fashionable pieces of items. We were born in the 90s. Tooth gems are I guess an abundance of the 90s, just mangled into one.
They captivate the 90s completely, don't they?
And so for us, for Demi, it's really special.
It's so cool.
It's hoping it's a continuous. It's been around for a few years now, really, hasn't it?
It started getting popular again recently. Originally, it came from my
fun.
Oh yeah, we should have a jingle like fun, and then the lights go. As we go along, we might get a budget for production, so there might be.
Who's giving us this budget? Like, if anyone would like to sponsor Two Girls One Studio, it's like.
Do you know what? I kind of like that name. I think we're going to go with Two Girls One Studio. Although
it was something different a minute ago. We've already forgotten it. Two Girls One Shed.
Oh yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
That sounds dodged though, doesn't it?
It does sound dodged.
Oh, we'll get back to it. Oh my god, I've lost my train of thought.
Oh fuck.
This happens a lot.
See, this was like we literally go bum 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 bum. No, we were talking about tooth gems.
Fun fact. So tooth gems originated from Mayan culture, actually.
Ooh.
So, but in Mayan culture, they actually embedded the jewels in their teeth.
Which is so much more hardcore. I'm actually really sad they don't do that anymore.
I'm telling you now, I probably wouldn't do it if I had to pick up
if
and drill.
If people go and get turkey teeth, they should be willing to like just drill a hole.
I think it's a little bit. I mean, I wouldn't be comfortable drilling into someone's tooth because no. No, I mean now obviously it's so much easier. But yeah, and then it became popular in 90s culture through R&B, hip hop artists, and then as time went on, the equipment and stuff became a little bit more accessible, and that's why tooth gem technicians like me now exist. So I can now do it in this beautiful studio. There's no pain, there's no drilling, nothing like that. It's totally safe. The gems that I use are either 18 karat gold or lead-free crystals, so they are totally safe for your mouth. But again, I will probably go into the process of that in a later episode. So that's basically the gist.
That's me and Demi in a nutshell. I mean, I could go on and talk all day. Ooh.
We've known each other for a long time.
Maybe we should do like a few like fun facts about ourselves, because that was all just a little bit like.
That was a little bit boring, really. So what else were we going to talk about this episode? Oh, we want to talk about what we had planned for the podcast.
I did have it all written down. Wait.
Jesus Christ. We'll go more into the process of tattooing, the tooth gem process. We might get some client stories, about their tattoos, favourite ones done by you. We might interview some people. We're also going to have guest spots for other artists as well.
But we'd love to talk to other artists. I really want people to message or comment any tattoo horror stories. Can do it anonymously.
Anonymously.
Anonymously. Basically, you don't have to give me your name.
That was so much easier. In any industry, horror.
It would just be.
In any industry, horror stories exist. So yeah,
and it's interesting, and it's good to get that perspective. Me as a tattoo artist, I'd love to talk about what may be right or wrong about what they've done. Obviously, I don't have all the answers, but it'd be interesting to see why someone thought they had a horror story taken from a different perspective. I mean, Reddit has a lot of them already. To be honest, might go.
We could do a few Reddit episodes as well.
Why don't you get one? Get a Reddit horror story up.
I'm not connected to your Wi-Fi. Reddit.
Oh, leave the light.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. Oh, I have a horror story.
Oh my God, I thought I rolled over your toes.
I have a horror story. Well, it's not a horror story, but it's an embarrassing story. One of my tattoos. So Ella did this. No, I'm joking. So my first tattoo, I was 15.
15. which I'll add now,
was done in Thailand.
Is a no-go.
No. That automatically is. This is what not to do. I think I was 15 or 16. I don't know. I was very drunk. Again,
this is like everything you should not do.
Basically, take the story as everything you should not do in preparation for a tattoo. So I was 15. I was drunk, and this was in Thailand. I was on a night out, stumbled into a tattoo parlor, really wanted a tattoo. It's so bad that you can't actually. You see that? How terrible is that? I mean, what does that even say? So I got that because I was like, well, I know I'm not allowed to get tattoos, but if I get Dad, is he really going to be that upset? But the other one I got is on the back of my neck, so I don't know how I'm going to do this. Can you?
Prime. Oh, it's like top of your
neck. It's really
neck.
high. What does it say? Exactly. Right, it's really high up because I didn't want my dad to see it.
Hairline's growing around it.
Yeah, because I was like, they shaved it.
And it's never come back.
No. So I was like, shave it and put it as high as possible so no one could see it. It's just all such a bad idea. And I was like, I want faith in Latin. And obviously they were like, well, how do you spell that? I'm like,
I'll say as a cat.
I wrote it out. It's spelled wrong. And just make sure it's not like, Okay, so this one is, I was in a shop with a friend who was getting some dumb nautical stars tattooed around his elbow. He was standing up and getting the stencils lined up properly, and he locked his knees out. He hadn't eaten anything at all and promptly passed out, smashing his forehead on the counter on his way down. He bled everywhere and then badmouthed the shop like crazy because he was embarrassed, because apparently it was their fault that he can't stand without nearly killing himself. We're not friends any longer, and he was definitely that artist's worst client. So just stories like that.
That is, well,
that's not great.
I think definitely proves that like customer is not always right. And we would always suggest
before your appointment. Why does no one eat or drink?
I feel like some people definitely treat it as like a challenge, and I'm like, just don't like make it harder for yourself. Like eat something, drink something.
Have you seen that? Those tattoo. I mean, I saw it in passing on TikTok at some point, and basically they give you like they knock you out. And then there's like
Post Malone.
6, I don't know, but there's like 4 or 6 artists that tattoo you at the same time, and you do a back piece in like one session.
In theory, that sounds great.
No, I know, but that's insane. Yeah. Like when you come around, oh my god.
Yeah, I think that's something that people don't consider. Those people, I think that putting them under the anaesthetics are actually trained professionals.
Yeah, of course.
I think they had people there, so like when they come round, if you did go into shock or whatever.
Yeah, I know, no, of course. It's all done in a professional, but I'm just thinking when you come around from it, like the amount of that your body's just gone through and the like.
And it's also, I mean, for a lot of people, the tattooing is an experience. Like, shame that people want to get rid of that part, because I mean, talking to people, some people don't want to talk, but having a chat. And being tattooed, a lot of people find it quite therapeutic, but I understand
there's certain areas that are a bit...
Yeah. I understand the interest in getting passed out. And
I would like to get a massive back piece. I'm still a bit scared, though.
I mean, no,
I'd love to get one, honestly.
Back tattoo.
Yeah, like just one huge piece. But yeah, I think that's a pretty good first episode. Look at us!
We're trying.
Ella was really
I hope we'll ease into it more.
I feel like I should maybe dress better. I feel like I'm just wearing
we're deciding like whether we go real casual. I like the casual.
I kind of like the casual as well. Yeah. And it's really
baggy
warm.
Eyes.
I mean, when do we get to? I mean, I've lived in Thailand for 10 months, so I'm kind of used to this attire at the moment. Wearing flip flops, which isn't great for the. Oh my god, no! That's when I stepped on a snail. I know, just out there, I felt really bad, and he's like on my flip flop.
Are you sure it was a snake?
Yeah, I heard it crunch. I looked underneath and I felt really bad. Next episode, we will post. I don't know how regularly we're going to do this. Probably going to aim to do it once a month.
Yeah, I think that'd be safe. Yeah, safe.
We'll do once a month.
Safe.
And
I'd like to say we're busy people.
I'm bloody busy.
You're a mum.
But yeah, we'll aim to do this once a month, and hopefully as the podcast goes on, it'll be more entertaining.
I hope just getting to know us is a bit entertaining.
Yeah.
I guess that's like bullet point what we want from you guys. Like, I need questions.
Questions, give us content.
Yeah.
That would be great.
We need your help. We need
follow and like all of our social media. So we've got the Ink Shed Studio Instagram. We've got Your Brooksy Ink Instagram and Heart Dem Gems.
An unbelievable amount of social media.
We will put it here. You know when people do that on the podcast, they're like here, and it pops like, I'm going to do that here, right there. Right, we got to wrap this.
Do something.
We got to wrap it up. Okay, so I'll put it here, and I've got a lot of energy this year.
Yeah. Questions.
Follow, likes, and
horror stories. Friends' horror stories, doesn't have to be your own. Even if it's questions about how, like, self-employed, like, it doesn't have to be tattoo related specifically. Like, you can ask me questions about how I got to the business.
If you want to be featured on the podcast, we are happy with that as well, because we would love to have people on. And that's basically it. So I guess join us for the next episode, and hopefully by then we'll have our name.
Yeah. So for now, let's go.
Bye.
Bye.